Hi there. Welcome. This is the first episode of A Cinema Nasty. Hi, Adam.
Ban this filth.
If you understand that reference, you know why we called this A Cinema Nasty. So, if you haven't seen, we've got a wee episode 0, kind of laying out the rules and what we're kind of wanting to do with this. But, quick recap 3 rules. 1, we must watch whatever film we're talking about within 24 hours of recording, which we have. We both watched the movie, which selection tonight is Event Horizon. Second rule, it must be released in the cinema. Event Horizon was in 1997, I believe. And 3, it must be fun. And this one is. Oh. So, when's the last time you watched Event Horizon before this?
Oh, I want to say a good 8 or 9 years.
I think about 3 or 4 for me. It's one of those movies that just kind of, yeah, I watched as an early teenager like 90 times with mates because it was one of those
Yeah,
DVDs we just had, you know?
I feel like I saw it quite a few times.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Event Horizon is a film by Paul W.S. Anderson, and I still kind of consider it his best movie. Because in comparison, you have the original Mortal Kombat, which is fun. It is. All the Resident Evil movies, and some of them are fun but questionable, and the first Alien vs. Predator movie, which it's all right. That's really about all I can really say about it. So let's get into it. The movie opens with something that almost every sci-fi movie, no matter what subgenre of sci-fi movie, all of them opened with a weird wee of credit sequence. You know? And Event Horizon had it, and I wasn't ready for it.
Oh, no, it was the ending credits that had the full rave.
Oh yeah, that was also
I
fun.
went back to it, yeah. But,
Yeah.
yeah, we got that.
Yeah.
We got, hey, on 2015, we established the moon base.
Oh, okay.
The
So
year is 2015.
they're calling us on the moon.
Men are on the moon. Mars will be mined. It will be mined by 2030. I think it was 2032 in the film.
Yeah, and then was it a 2040? The Event Horizon went missing. The worst disaster in space history, and it's like, really? There's like 8 people on board.
There was 8 people on board, and it just vanished without a trace.
Yeah.
And that was their worst disaster. Like, how well did spaceflight
Yeah,
go?
like I mean, the last.
Did they get that moon base and
Yeah.
just get it right?
Yeah, it's like because like in reality, the last bit like the Challenger is still considered like the worst space disaster to happen, or any of the Apollo shit. So anyway, I just realized we haven't really talked about what the movie's about. It is a sci-fi horror film in which a spaceship, the Event Horizon, that has been missing for many a year has returned, and a small rescue team on the Lewis and Clark go there with the ship's creator, played by Sam Neill, because I don't really think it would have been anyone else. Sam Neill's that actor who just was always in those kind of roles, especially in the 90s. He should probably come back to do more of them. He looks like he really has fun doing horror. And then they get there, and it's spooky shit in space. And it's fun. Now, before we get into the full cast, other than Sam Neill, who looks like he's having the most fun, who was your favourite?
Ooh,
Because
tough.
weirdly enough, I think we're going to say the same person.
I know you want to say Smithy.
Smithy!
Yeah, Sean Pertwee.
Bye.
Sean Pertwee.
Or Sean Pertwee.
And yeah, just
Great, love him.
yeah,
But we also got to see Jurassic Park in space.
nah. Yeah, just Sam Neill. I love Sam Neill so much. A man who was actually born in Northern Ireland.
Who also
edge.
he has a questionable history of whether or not you should.
But yeah, so okay. Before we go, we'll just run through the cast. So the main protagonist, it's best you can call him, is Lawrence Fishburne playing Captain Miller, no first name given. It's just Lawrence Fishburne being a really just cool badass, which he usually does. Watch Matrix, Hannibal, anything really. He just kind of has a good badass quality.
It's a very fresh-faced,
Yeah, this
very
is
fresh-faced
because
Lawrence Fishburne.
he very quickly developed a around your head, which I can agree with because it happened to me. Jaw, it's with the jawline, and he's very
Sorry,
slim.
my round head hasn't come in yet.
It will. Yeah, and I think it was one of his first bigger movies, but you know, he's just cool. By the way, can we talk about his captain's chair? It just like hangs down, he just like sits in it. I loved
But
it.
did you notice both the captain's chairs in both the ships were this mad dangly contraption where there was no
Yeah,
like all the other people are just on
like just
seat,
normal like chairs or like
seat.
yeah. We'll get into like set design and shit later, but we will talk about it, especially for those
Oh
chairs.
yes, we will.
So him, we have Sam Neill, we have Jolie Richardson, who's like, why are you in this movie? You seem to be slightly too good to be in this movie, and she plays Lieutenant Stark. There's a C in there for some reason, but it's not where you think it is. And she's, you know, the XO, second in command kind of thing. She's great in it. I loved her, but she's like, she has such a smaller role than what I remember her having. You know?
I think that's because in your teenage years you remembered the bit where she was in her underwear for a lot longer.
I mean, I'm an adult. No, behave. Sean Pertwee, who was playing just Smithy. I think his best thing is just his introduction's like,
Wait, why can't we go to Mars, Captain? I mean, Mars has got women.
Yeah,
Actor.
I'm going to Wong Casino with Smitty.
he's the only actor who I think ever in any film is the perfect squatty. You know? He acts like actual people who've been in the army.
That's he's very much his usual character. On
Yeah.
that front.
Weirdly enough, just first thing, he's very, very similar to a character he plays in Dog Soldiers. But in Dog Soldiers, all the corpses in the basement were borrowed from Event Horizon.
Completely forgot.
Sorry. That's a different movie for a different time. Who else we got? We got Jason Isaacs, who we'll talk about in a bit. He plays the Doctor, or
DJ. Trauma.
Trauma.
yeah, and his accent was just like regionally migrating around the UK. Because at one point he's almost Welsh, then he kind of just vaguely Scottish, and when he threatens Smithy with a fucking blade, he sounds like he's kind of doing a very bad Northern Irish accent.
Do you understand? It's just a big hunk of metal. There's nothing odd going on.
DJ?
I have no idea where he was going.
Yeah, don't get me
I
wrong.
decided that because it was so many different accents, I better just file it under South African and be done with it.
And then there's two characters who do kind of stand out for me because both of them should have died in any other horror movie, which is the Cooper, who is the comic relief, but he's the comic relief in such a way that I don't hate him.
Here is Mr. Cooper. What exactly is it you do on board this ship, Coop?
Listen up, Doc. I'm your best friend, okay? I'm the lifesaver and the heartbreaker.
Because usually like, he could have like a degree too much, a wee bit more, and he would have been too much. But you know, him screaming through space of
Here I come, motherfucker!
Yeah, I want to talk about that because that came
and
that came after Sean Pertwee
Smitty!
delivering one of the best performances of what genuinely happens if you find a bomb with a few seconds
Yeah.
left on it. Like he's just
okay. Quick thing, that annoys me for one reason.
why?
In that scene, there's a disarm button. It's like right there in front of him.
I did wonder about the button, but
Yeah.
at the same time he hit the button.
Okay, no, but his reaction, it's still very good. Two more there's still a couple more. There's still at least two more. There is Peters, who is played by Kathleen Quinlan. I apologize if that's how you pronounce your name. She's the medical expert who pretty much spends half the movie tripping balls, imagining seeing her very ill child.
Yeah, she didn't really have a good run of it.
Though, I thought she would weirdly have played one of the better. All of her scenes were done really well. She's the only character who has proper horror build up and suspense moments. Everyone else just has jump scares or explosions. By the way, random fact that I found out while researching the movie: her husband played Dan in Reanimator. What? Yeah, that's just a nice little tie-in. And the last one I want to talk about is the character of Justin. Justin was the red shirt. Just every single thing about Justin screamed, "I'm a red shirt. I'm going to die first," and then didn't. Every bad thing that could happen happened to Justin. I got dragged into a portal to hell. I maybe got possessed. I got blown out of a fucking airlock and hemorrhaged all my blood. Survived. He just screamed being a red shirt because he was too pure to exist in this universe.
Do you mean Bob?
Was his name also Bob?
Bob the Red Shirt?
Fuck off. But yeah, that's the cast. And other than Jason Isaacs' wandering accents, it's a really good cast, especially for this kind of movie.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like, especially Sam Neill, just at that time, is a really interesting addition.
Honestly, Sam Neill, I think he's even said in interviews, he loves doing horror and creature features or anything he gets to do something weird. Which might stem from one of his first movies being The fucking Omen. Well, sorry, The Omen Part 3, in which he played adult Damien.
The Omening.
This time it's biblical.
Actually,
Christ,
you know what?
why did I do that one, David? Just don't do that to yourself.
Just on Sam Neill, though, you see that first opening shot?
Oh, the eye and the
No, the spinning around.
the space station.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rolling over it. Oh my god, that was sickening.
Yeah,
That was more sickening than any of the gore in it because it was
yeah, it's just the
right.
we're going. And by the way,
I think-
while it's going, the Earth is also spinning. Then you can see stars.
But part of that stems from there's this weird thing about the film where the dude's been smoking some Kubrick. He's been like there's some heavy duty Shining style vibes
Yeah.
with a lot of the horror, but that's always interrupted by people just for no apparent reason, very suddenly and aggressively addressing people.
Sorry.
And then there's the space 2001, the beautiful slow swing around the a boat.
Yeah. Though, can we talk about? Okay, you said smoking. Everyone's fucking
Yeah.
smoking in this movie. It's like in space. Yeah, this high oxygen environment. You just light up a cigarette. I think at least half of the cast is smoking a fucking cigarette by the end of the movie.
In fairness, high oxygen environments went out of fashion.
Really? Is this back when they colonized the moon?
No, they went out of fashion even in this day and age.
Really? Second.
Yeah, mostly so we could smoke. No, but they actually
Yeah.
did.
So,
You know, mostly because it's a bad idea if you can avoid it.
so the film itself, I'm pretty sure the Shining stuff's intentional. Because it is basically a haunted house in space kind of vibe.
No, I'm not saying it's not, though. One thing, they get into this ship. And Sam Neill's made it very clear at this point he's designed the ship. And everyone looks at this guy and they go, okay, you stay on board and be like our navigator so we can walk around the ship and everything.
Yeah.
But not one person gets on the radio and asks, why does this thing look like this? Why?
Okay. Let's break down the why. Let's start off with the giant.
No, don't, because
I'm saying.
you can't try and defend him on this.
Oh no! I'm not defending. I'm breaking down the ship in the what the fuckery, and I'm saving the most prominent fuckery for last. Let's start with the umbilical. It's just a giant hallway that's literally just set up to be an action scene later where it explodes, or Lawrence Fishburne runs up and down and they show off some zero gravity effects.
I think the undertone of that is that there was a big separation because they didn't know what had happened when they switched it on.
Yeah.
I think you could
Don't
defer
worry.
that bit away.
Yeah.
But what about the decoration?
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, oh my god.
I think my favorite bit in the movie for just wait a minute, are you sure? It's the medical. It's the sick bay, which by the way just looks like a fucking gothic morgue. I expect to see fucking Herbert West wandering in to find a body. Oh yeah, it's never been used. Then why the fuck are there a bunch of X-rays and MRIs things on the wall? I bet they're all just hanging off.
Like,
shit. Yeah. Then there's the bridge, which I kind of digged. Like, it's got the weird cross-shaped window, which I assume... Okay, apparently the Event Horizon is based off a cathedral. Physically, and that's why the whole ship looks like a cross.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never, ever been to a cathedral
Really?
that had an anteroom or, you know, maybe a reception that looked like the inside of the box from Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Did
Okay.
you notice the airlock looked like the inside of, what was it called? The Lament,
The Lament configuration.
the Lament
I know enough.
configuration.
I know. I love a bit of Hellraiser. We have such sights to show you. Yes.
Well,
so
on that front,
okay.
on that front,
Let's talk about the murder tunnel.
things to show you.
Yeah. So we have the murder tunnel, which leads to the murder room, which leads to the murder ball.
Okay, I have a lot more questions about this thing.
Don't get me wrong. For set, it's like, well, this is the most sinister fucking room in history. Everything is spiky as shit, and then in the middle is this floating ball with 3 rings covered in spikes, just spinning around, which are explained
it's got a
away.
big spiky dog collar, but
Yeah.
the big spiky dog collar is clearly an Aztec death calendar.
Yeah.
It looks. Why is it covered in runes?
Okay. So every single thing aesthetically makes sense once you realize what the writer was ripping off, which he later years he did admit to. So the writer is a fan of Warhammer 40k, and the whole point of it is Warhammer. It's you go faster than light by jumping into a place called the Warp, which is basically a hell dimension, and occasionally your ships can come back haunted as fuck with demons and shit, and your people will go crazy, see shit, and carve stuff all over themselves. Literally, when by the way, JD, Jason Isaac, his whole thing is him slowly going crazy, and then he goes out like a bitch. I'm expecting some showdown. No, smack down, slice open, you're dead.
Okay, I'm just gonna. While we're on the subject of this,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say clearly Warhammer and Doom, same logic.
Mm.
Go to the hell dimension, get yourself some delicious snacks, come back, save the world.
Yeah,
Nothing will go wrong.
Yeah.
You won't end up with demons running about.
But the influence makes sense when you look at all the needlessly gothic shit, especially in that room. And also, we're going back to those 2 chairs, because I am now this, all this random shit is above me. Why? Just because it needs to look gothic and cool and swivel in a menacing way. It's like, they're both chairs from fucking Warhammer ships. I might be a bit of a Warhammer fan. A wee bit. The reason I'm sticking on this point for like 3 seconds.
I think I'm fine with the chairs because, it's the first time I've ever considered dangling menacingly.
From a chair, anyway. Sorry, David, don't do that to yourself. Stop that.
I get the set design being what it is for the film. But nobody fucking questions this in the film.
Yeah, it's like you walk into this and you're first like,
I'm just vibing here. I'm just vibing in the murder chamber.
Yeah, I should like the guy walks in and goes, okay, well there seems to be some sort of strange readings, and he's just looking around, and he's not questioning the giant floating ball of death. Even when he gets rescued by Cooper doesn't comment on the giant ball of death.
Do you look at the ball of death that lets you traverse the universe instantly and stick your hand in it?
Yeah, first off, he sticks his finger in it and gets some goop out. Then reaches in.
I mean, I'm not sure.
I wouldn't want to touch it. I'd just, back away.
I think I would touch it because I'm stupid.
But I wouldn't.
I also think there's a reason I'm not an astronaut.
No, Adam. I could see you touching it, but not with your finger. I could see you picking up a stick and poking it or throwing it in or something before you touch it with your finger.
Yeah, definitely huck stuff at it first.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go straight for.
Though, for some of the stuff, okay, overall the movie has mostly aged really well.
You know what?
Mostly.
It has. Do you know what? There was one moment where it fell apart a little.
Was it the asteroid at the beginning? The really crappy CGI asteroid at the very beginning. It's like, you just look like shit. Why are you
Oh,
there?
no. You see, because that was straight away and it was over quickly.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me. But no, the explosion just suddenly, for no apparent reason, goes to trash CGI in the middle.
Oh, you mean the donuts?
Good practical effects.
You mean the donut?
Not that one.
Oh.
Not that one. That was also kind of seriously trash.
Yeah.
That was much worse.
Oh, you're talking about
the dies.
Oh, the Lewis and Clark one? Yeah.
And the explosion, the first bit's practical, and
Yeah.
then there's a weird CGI bit in the middle, and then we're back to practical. And it's just like, why did you do that?
Okay. Apart from that, and the zero gravity CGI stuff, most of it doesn't work, but you don't really question it because, once again, the movie's very stylized. But there is one bit that I really love. It's only shot, and once again, it's the big murder chamber, and it has all this like oil or coolant floating around in big bubbles. But when the gravity turns on, it turns practical. and splashes down. I think that looks great. You know?
Thought that worked out. Also, whenever you see videos of like space water,
It just doesn't look real.
it looks like bullshit.
Let's break down some of the more, basically the set pieces. Because after we get through the characters, we have the set pieces. You have the initial shots of these ships, which are probably a mix of miniatures and CGI. And honestly, I kind of love them. Okay, the Lewis and Clark design's a bit but the Event Horizon...
Why? The Lewis and Clark, also, it's like completely fine. It's like mesh, shuttly spaceship type deal. And then all of a sudden,
the Event Horizon,
it's like...
it's a bit phallic.
No, it's just got the Lewis and Clark is fine right up until it goes to dock. And then it's just like...
It's like, where the fuck did you come from, dude?
You've got a proboscis, didn't I tell you?
The Event Horizon as a ship, I just think looks cool. You know?
I also think it looks like a uterine implant.
Oh my god, it does. Shit, it does! Okay, so you have the big shots of the ship, you have the, oh god, we can't see where it is, then why don't you... Okay, yeah, that's the... There's all like proximity warnings when they're going into the storm to try to find the ship, and they just don't slow down.
Well, they did say that. No, they said they were going to match speed, which meant they shouldn't have been coming towards it.
Yeah. So you have that. You have their initial tour of the ship, which, by the way, is a bunch of corridors: the main umbilical, the bridge, the sick bay, the murder room. You don't really see much of the rest of the ship. You don't really need to.
Were you paying attention to the bridge?
Kinda. It's cool. Like,
were you paying attention in the initial scene?
Which bit?
The background.
You mean there's a bit of blood. There's 9 people's worth of everything painted to the wall.
But the fact that they were just like, well, no, we don't care about that.
Yeah, okay, that's one thing. It never gets brought up. It's
I
never.
mean, they freak out about like one of the big scares early on is
the glove.
Lawrence Fishburne gets hit by a hand in a glove,
and he just freaks like, "What the fuck?" It's the glove. A wall painted.
It was a hand.
Oh no, it was a glove. It was an empty glove.
I couldn't remember now.
Yeah, we watched it. Only watched it maybe a few hours ago. My favorite thing, okay. By the way, this another set piece is they turn the gravity on, and the medic has seen a body floating and doesn't take the common courtesy just to lower it to the ground. Nope, she lets it fall and shatter to a million pieces. You know?
Isn't she the one that commented on what would happen to people in those temperatures? Kinda,
yeah. Which, by the way, mini thing about that shot, it had been done twice, because in the first time around, I think it was like an assistant in the special effects department was getting fired, so he had a giant dildo in it. So when it shattered, dick. So they had to refilm the body falling again to cover up dick.
You wonder why things keep coming back to my dildo canon, because it's hilarious.
That's hey, if you want to know what that is, go check out the new episode of the Untitled Nerdcast. It was live streamed on Twitch. I'm pretty sure we talked about that. Oh yeah, they still use CDs. That was another bit. It's like, I've got a CD stuck. It's like,
but she's like, you're like,
then body behind her.
I mean, but like CDs don't do that.
So you go on from there. You get Justin, and then you get the Green Maze of Death, where Sam Neill starts tripping balls about his dead wife. Oh yeah, can we talk about just briefly at the beginning of the movie? You see a monument to this guy's dead wife in his apartment, like a shrine of like 50 photos and a couple of candles, and it's like, I wonder if you're trying to tell us through set design that he may have lost to someone.
Do you know what? No, there's something to be said for the argument that once he started down the road of building what he was building, then that explains the rest. Because I mean, like, you look at his green maze of circuit boards,
which was cool as shit, by the way. I'm kind of annoyed we didn't get any more stuff like that.
I'm proud of designing that unless it has some sort of supernatural purpose, because it's a massive waste of space. I mean, like, you know the way the walls are literally circuit boards and they're covering everything, and then he goes to one like little rack.
Yeah, and just opens it up. It's like, and then they pulls out the tiniest little thing. So you get that. Oh yeah, that leads. So from that, it leads immediately into one of the closest I think we get to properly gross and it's Justin's suicide attempt / decompression, which as a kid freaked me the fuck out. And it's just when he looks down and the veins in his arms. That freaked me out as a kid, and I don't know why.
Really?
It was like, yeah, once again, I was 8.
Oh, did you think there was worms in there? Or
No,
something
no,
like
I just thought, bleh! It's just one of those images that stuck with me for a while. I thought it looks really cool now. He's like an adult going, oh, that's gross.
You're not going to talk about the various switches to the dead's girlfriend / stock E being eyeless.
I was eventually getting to that one, because later on it becomes really prominent. It's like, so his dead wife just starts hanging about.
It's prominent in the first scene.
Fair enough. But I was getting to it after the Justin bit.
Okay, but no, it's just
Okay.
that you would pick the veiny arms over that.
I don't know why. The eye thing never freaked me out as a kid. I think it's because it's very... I don't know, it's just very obviously CGI or something. As a kid, it didn't freak me out. The vein thing did. I don't know why.
I think they're both now they're about equally obvious.
Weirdly
in
enough, I think
retrospect.
the eye stuff actually works really well now, because her hair is in the way of one of them. And I don't know why. It's just that adding the detail of her hair is still in the way of an empty eye socket. So shit hits the fan. Smithy's death hurts because he's just so... He literally tears that room apart trying to find the fucking bomb. And he's so happy when he gets it. And he's like 8 seconds left. And he just looks like he just sits down and accepts his death in a really sad way. And it's just Sean Pertwee being Sean Pertwee.
And then we suddenly switch from a fairly credible death scene
To the shit.
Cooper's grand adventure, his wild ride in space.
Yeah, his whole thing, he gets blown off into like on a chunk of the Lewis and Clark, and then vents his oxygen just to jetpack back in.
Dude, stop describing it like that. He's literally commentating on it himself. He's like, I'm gonna vent my oxygen.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Here I come, motherfucker!
Flying back down there.
It's like, I'm on my way, motherfuckers! It's like, I loved it.
It's something that should be irritating and difficult in a movie, just like stabbed in like that, but somehow it works out okay.
Yeah, I liked him in that bit. It was good. Also, that actor pops up in everything these days. He was in Godzilla and shit. He just always...
Actually, they did a good job with Cooper on that front.
Go on.
Because he dies when
He
he's
doesn't
blown
die.
up. No, hear me out here. He dies when he's blown up, but okay, yeah, he vents his oxygen, managed to come back from the dead, basically.
Yeah.
Next thing that happens to him is...
Oh god, okay. So, no. We need to set up the scene before we introduce him again. So Sam Neill goes evil, tears his eyes out, kills JD, once again, out like a bitch, but then sacrifices him to fucking God knows what by hanging him up, painting some like satanic symbols on the wall and shit.
And again, very Hellraiser. You
Yeah.
know, he's stretched the skin out, he's got the hooks.
Yeah. Then he's just sitting on the bridge. Oh yeah, so Stark is unconscious for some reason. Never explained how. Did she get snuck up on? Did she faint? God knows what. Lawrence Fishburne. I don't know why it always gets me. He just has smelling salts on him.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this
Yeah.
too. I was like, okay,
Like,
let's swing
okay,
back to Pioneer days.
no. I
Oh,
get.
get this
Oh
woman
no.
some smelling salts right
Oh no.
now.
I get that they're all like. They're all basically the space equivalent of an air ambulance or the Coast Guard. That's their thing. They're rescuing shit. But smelling salts was kind of weird.
Smelling salts are anachronistic. If someone gets you smelling salts in this day and age, you look at them with incredulity.
Yeah. By the way, I used to suffer
Never
from.
mind.
Oh no.
40 fucking years in the
Oh
future.
no. I mean this. I used to have blackouts, right? I used to drop like a ton of bricks. Not once did anyone give me smelling salts.
Exactly.
So okay, he does this. Sam Neill's character, he gets the bolt gun thing was really cool, by the way. I'm kind of annoyed it didn't get used more. He gets the thing. He basically sets up. They're going to use the dimensional thing to drag everyone to hell and scary shit. And then at the peak of it, out of nowhere, Cooper's just back conveniently to bounce into the window, thinking he's saved, thinking he's okay, and Sam Neill just turns around and shoots out the fucking window.
He just gets absolutely
Yeah.
bingoed.
Also,
You're
by the way,
used to
how long was
dramatic-
that decompression sequence?
I was about to say you get your usual dramatic sequence of decompression.
But it goes on for like a minute and a
except for
half.
that 3 weeks, and then, but the reason I didn't want to frame it this way is because I wanted to talk about this in reference to Cooper.
Yeah.
Because Cooper goes out. Cooper was hoping to go to Mars with Smithy.
Smithy!
Get some woman, have a bit of crack. He ends up doing this instead, doesn't get them weird Martian women. And he has a bad day where he gets blown up, has to starve himself of oxygen to get back from being blown up, only to crash into a window and get shot at with a bolt gun
Yeah.
by a man with no eye. Somehow, after all this, the poor bastard still
Finds the one door with everyone waiting for him to beat the shit out of him.
through the creepy ass airlock
Yeah.
just to be confronted by his mate.
Can we just appreciate his first
The most
line?
inappropriate
No,
with weapons.
by the way, his first
Don't hit
line.
me.
No, his first line is just,
Don't hit me!
Yeah, don't have it. but
"Oh,
But actually, on that front, why the fuck, right? Big Lawrence goes for the.
oh yeah, the fucking bolts thing.
He goes for the bolt cutter,
Yeah,
right? And your woman, like.
it's like a
just
hammer or an
gave-
axe or something.
It's like, I don't know, suspiciously, it looked like.
Space crowbar.
No, it didn't even, because the space crowbars were right there. And the
Oh,
space
yeah!
crowbars
It's
looked
like-
like they do some harm to you.
Yeah. She picks up this tiny little pointy thing.
But I mean, like, there was plenty of viable things to bash people with, and they're like bolt cutters, and
To be fair, the bolt cutters do look heavy as fuck.
there was a thing that looked like some sort of space crowbar pickaxe.
The big thing, worst bit is, I'm agreeing with you as I watch the movie going, but why'd you pick that? But why that? So then we move into the finale. Okay, no, before we move into the finale, every single character in some way had to deal with the ship being weird. Either they hallucinated, Lawrence Fishburne's seen his dead crewmate from a different ship as a man on fire. That's how he died.
No. I actually had a point about that.
Go on then.
Let me just.
Okay,
let
well,
me just-
while you find your thing, Sam Neill had the dead wife, and Peters had their child who was some unknown disease fucking them up, and then a few other characters had. Okay, JD looks like he's going insane, just ready to kill someone, and maybe Smithy was paranoid. That whole bit really wasn't played up. It might have just been JD was a psychopath waiting to happen. So, Man on Fire.
Right. No, my point was, so the big, this is we've got Sam Neill's crawling around in this tunnel, and he's getting creepy messages from his dead wife, Stocky, whatever she was exactly, but
Dead X.
they're reasonably subtle, Dead X. Let's go Dead X, yeah. You got the dead kids. They're all reasonably sort of in a line with each other.
Yeah.
And Big Lawrence is just standing there, by the magnet, waiting for something to happen.
Then-
And big flaming cunt coming at you.
You let me burn!
I'm fine with him telling the story after that,
Yeah.
but it's just like, it's been quite creepy and sneaky, and then all of a sudden it's like, you let me burn!
After all that, after all the hallucinations shit, Lawrence Fishburne's Captain Miller goes to break off the ship through the umbilical and stuff. Firefucker turns up again. Which, by the way, one of my favourite reveals in the whole movie is he thinks he escapes him in the murder room of death and just turns around slowly and the entire room is just on fire. All subtlety has left this movie. He's turns around slowly and the entire room is on fire. It's like, I don't even think it's... it's like, it's never explained. It's not... we don't know if it's hallucination or it's now just not having any subtlety. Oh yeah, so this is the point where, and apparently the original one of the original cuts of the movie, he has a fight with the fire guy, but audiences hated it because they liked Sam Neill. So Sam Neill comes back as...
No. Sam Neill does not come back. Sam Neill is Fire Guy as well.
Yeah.
So, the room's on fire, and there's this, and he's Fire Guy standing over him.
Yeah.
Bam. Cuts to Fire Guy Sam Neill.
Just
Eyeless as fuck.
morph, and he's...
Sitting there, eyeless as the day he was
Yeah.
born.
So... Well, no, he has...
In a hell dimension.
Yeah, so, yeah. But by the way, going back to Warhammer, this is literally how every fucking chaos corrupted character looks like. Scars, bald and scars, and just going full. Oh, I loved it because Sam Neill just went full evil. Not even like the first half of the movie, Sam Neill is like the academic.
He basically wanted to take them to a walk to Devil Park.
Yeah.
As far as he was concerned, it was a nice idea.
Welcome to Devil Park. Do you have a Satan? We have a Satan. But yeah, the first half of the movie, he is the academic. Then he gets into the, oh no, everything makes sense. It's just gravity or some bullshit messing with our heads. Last act of the movie, he just goes full Sam Neill. He's like, oh, I'm evil. Do you see? No, you're all coming with me. Like, he goes full just...
I've got wonderful things to show you.
Yeah, it's just... And then just the, do you see? Do you see? And then Lawrence Fishburne's character just going out like... He doesn't even die. That's the thing. His character doesn't die. He goes to hell. But he just goes out like a fucking boss of... Yes. I see. Yeah, then there's the two... the Event Horizon doesn't have an ending, by the way. It has two of its alternate endings cut together to make a different ending. Where basically, it's a fake out where it's a dream sequence where she wakes up and sees Devil Sam Neill in a fucking riot suit or something, and then cuts to a different ending. Which, I think the last line is, we're safe, as the doors close menacingly. But yeah.
So, do you know the ambiguity there is serious, because it's pretty clear, right? Sam Neill never went to the hell place. Mm-hmm. Built the thing that went to the hell place.
Yeah.
And yet he went full hell place.
Oh, yeah.
So, those people haven't seen the things they've seen.
Oh.
Can they now come back? Or is that following them wherever they go?
To be fair...
Because it is sort of like made out to be almost a thermal touch.
Yeah, it's that kind of gothic horror Lovecraft stuff of, you see the things that cannot be seen, you'll be traumatized to the end of your days, and you'll be mad. Though Cooper at the end is kind of still... Cooper? It's like, yeah. It's okay, we're safe. It's like, Cooper's not having a bad day. Cooper's kind of just like...
No, Cooper had a bad day.
Cooper had a very bad day.
Cooper had a bad day by all means, but at no point did Cooper get dragged to the hell thing.
He just had Bloodshot at one point.
Yeah, I mean, like, he got a bit bloody.
Yeah.
Whether or not that was specifically aimed at him.
She got the brunt of it.
Yeah. But Cooper spent most of his time on his day out.
Okay, so in summary,
that strengthens the argument.
Yeah, Event Horizon is a fun fucking movie, and I would even if you never watched for it and you just listen to all these vague spoilers and us basically describing each individual scene, I would still recommend it because we're not doing it justice for some of the weird shit you get in this movie. Also, just Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne, I want them to work together again, just arguing with each other.
Okay.
Because, you know...
yeah, I think you have a point,
Yeah.
given that I have a sentence here that says, the big magnets whispering loving eyeless bitches in your ear.
1 second, okay. What?
Oh, no, sorry, let me finish. Stop and let me finish.
Go on.
The big magnets whispering loving eyeless bitches in your ear in a spooky tunnel just goes full ham with some flaming cunt rising out of a pool of water. Where are you getting that today?
Oh.
Where are you getting that? I have one that just says the sneaky gore.
Oh, sorry, one of my notes just says, open the door.
Open the door.
Okay, that's when Sam Neill just starts like, okay, let's have Sam Neill create first crazy scene of, open the door.
I know why I have one that says, did you hear it?
Oh, it's like, did you hear? Yeah, I heard it. Great, thanks. I'm going to blow myself into space. Favorite moment. Let's round this up with, what is your favorite... If you'd pick one thing to get someone else to watch this movie, what would it be? What moment would it be? What thing would it be?
I'm pretty sure trying to explain the concept of dangling menacingly is the way to go. I mean, like full eyeless Sam Neill just turns around. You know, he's like lying there, all like, "What's he gonna do next?"
Oh, wait, we forgot the line. We forgot the line of...
Where we're going, we won't need eyes to see.
How did I was talking about that.
No, I was like, wait a minute.
And that every opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though,
Where we're going, we don't need eyes.
I love the fact that that is... If you want to scale, that is the polar opposite of the Doc Brown, where we're going, we don't need roads. On the chaotic good and evil scale, that is your scale of where we're going, we don't need roads, or we don't need eyes.
I argue they're equally chaotic, but...
To be fair, yeah. If I had to pick one thing, one single part of the movie, it would have to be the subtlety of Do you see?
Do you see? Do you see?
Do you see?
Do you see?
Do you see?
Do you see?
Yes. I see.
Oh, there was another reason that I banging on about Kubrick. You know what it was?
Go on.
It was the fact that right once they got onto the Event Horizon, so you had your opening scene, very 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got like a literal copy of the shower scene, but she's eyeless instead of an old witch.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also that really specific thing of the jump zoom with the thumping noise.
Sorry, I just realized there's one thing before we round up. There's one thing we didn't talk about.
What's that?
There's two scenes, and they're both called the same thing in by the director, and it's the murder orgies.
Oh, you mean the actual flashes of horror?
Yeah. So one, you get the flashback of what happened to the crew, which, by the way, apparently went on way. Oh yeah. So there's all the deleted scenes we're never going to get because they got discovered in a salt mine in Transylvania. This is where the deleted scenes for this movie ended up, and apparently they're unusable. And most of them are around the blood orgy scenes. So you have the one which happens to the original critic, him speaking Latin while holding his eyes. There's literally one scene, two guys buggering each other, someone getting stomach porn out, someone getting fisted in the throat. And then there's the second one, which just looks horrible. And it's everyone in the murder room, either someone skewered with maggots on them, her covered in barbed wire spinning around, the red shirt just screaming for help. It's the only one who gets any lines in it. It's just, help me!
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot to consider with that,
Yeah.
but I think actually really short flashes of gore.
Yeah, it could have been too much.
No, I think they're better at shocking you anyway.
Yeah. Especially when you get the wee glimpse of him, like when after he has his moment with the flame man, he just leans his head on the wall and Lawrence Fishburne gets the wee quick flash. And at the end when he's literally being psychically tortured by Sam Neill, makes sense. By the way,
every time I lean my head on a wall.
So one of the reasons I picked Event Horizon is because we're getting a TV series. Amazon's doing a TV series. We don't know if it's a remake, reimagining, or sequel, but I'm kind of up for it if they keep this kind of stuff. So yeah, Event Horizon. It's fun. Go watch it and enjoy it, and you will see. So, Adam, would you like to tell us what we're watching next week?
I will, but there's a couple of things you need to imagine about this film to really perfect it. The speech about the wormhole, it's the same speech.
Oh yes, I forgot about the fucking speech thing.
No. The problem with that speech is two things.
Uh-huh.
First of all, he could have chosen to show the lewd place that.
Okay. First off,
What? No.
We have to show what the speech is, people. Basically, it's like, well, what we do is you fold space, and then you go through it like this, which is in every fucking movie about a fucking wormhole, by the way. Explain it differently. That's the scene. That's how he does it. Adam, explain why he's wrong.
Use a velociraptor claw to do it.
Oh, just to traumatize the kids in the audience. Okay, what's your last beats before we have to tell you the next movie?
No, that was it. That was my real concern.
Okay, So Adam, what's next
Lack of
week's?
plot.
What's next? What's next week's movie?
It is Maximum Overdrive.
Yay! The movie that cocaine built.
Absolute loves. This is full on Stephen King.
Oh no! This is the only movie. Because okay, let's just talk about. We're not going to talk about the movie. I'm just going to talk about the teaser trailer for this movie. It's Stephen King standing in front of this fucking truck with a Green Goblin face for some reason, and he's like, "I've always felt my adaptations never really got the right treatment, but this one I'm writing, this one I'm directing, and I know the real scares." And then he flashes with red eyes for a moment, which could have been crappy 80s special effects, or it could have been the amount of cocaine that was involved in production.
I have absolutely no problem with that. You got an all AC/DC soundtrack. You have
Let's leave that for next week because there's so much shit we got to talk about next week for this movie.
Okay. I'm only doing the wind up.
Yeah.
You've got that apart from Flight of the Valkyries, and we have some of the most beautiful interactions you'll ever see between man and machine.
Ah, there's a Coke can gif coming in soon. Anyway, this has been episode 1. It has been fun. Come back next week and you get to see us talking about the movie that cocaine built. Thank you so much, and goodbye.
Smitty!